Get off the rat wheel.
I mean, I was trying to figure out, okay, well, what am I going to talk about? Everybody has hit on such great points. I mean, everybody knows that we're in a great industry with CBD now, right? Raise your hand. Yes? Everybody knows that when you leave here, you should be bundled up. Does everybody know that? Okay. Everybody knows about all the new great products from the CBD coffee, CBD tea, the Go Baby, to the new, is it PDQ? Pretty darn quick. So we're all like caught up to the new products. We've gotten good information. And I wanted to just like come on and really just tell my story. For those of you who do not know me, I've been in this business now for 13 years. And I told a story last Nationals, and I'm actually going to tell a very similar story this Nationals. But what I tried to figure out was, how did I get this far and go through so much? What kept me here all of these years? Because we all know that this is challenging. You know, if you're out there, if you're in the field and you're talking to people, we know that this is challenging, right? It's not an easy business to do. So like, if you can make it in network marketing, you can make it in anything, right? And what I realized is that after 13 years and taking some time to really think about it, was that I realized that I got this far without even really realizing it, because I was in love. Of course, I love you more, honey. And I thought, like, well, is it the name that I'm in love with? Because the name can change and it wouldn't matter to me. It's not the name 5 Links that I'm in love with. Then I was like, you know what? I think it's the people. I love how we're all different, and that we have different stories and we've been through different things, and that when you see us on the front of the stage, is that you get so many different people, from real estate agents to attorneys to party promoters to stay-at-home moms to, I did this when I was 18 years old. Like, it's the stories that I think I really, really love. And I realized, like, it's a lot that I love. It's probably the reason why I could never quit. Like, I love the ups and the downs. I love when I come to Nationals and I hear your stories. I love how you make me feel when you want to take a picture with me because of something that I've done. I love that when we come, you smile. I love when we sit in a room and we tell our stories. I love when I'm home. I love what it's done to my children. I love how my son says, when I grow up, I want to do 5 Links. I love how sometimes I'm laughing so hard because of something we're doing in our chats, right, SVPs? And I love how it sometimes makes me cry. I love how it takes me through all of these different emotions, ups and downs and highs and lows. I love how it's changed. I love how it doesn't look like it used to look. I love that the leadership looks different. I love when I look up, I don't just see anyone. I see the people who love it like I love it. I just want you to know that I'm in love. Love can make you do some crazy things. Now, you gotta know this. When I was in my first 30 days of being in business, my upline said to me, you gotta get your bonus. And I remember my oldest son was having a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. And I was like right at my 30th day, but I'm doing a birthday party at the same time. And I had created like this binder that no one told me to do. I just took the initiative, and I knew I couldn't remember everything. And I bring this huge binder to my son's birthday party. And I'm looking real crazy when it gets towards the end. And as I look back, I look at myself and I say, that was a little bit odd. I'm like going up to my aunts and uncles, and I'm just like, listen, I just need you to support me. Now, we didn't have CBD. I couldn't like test it on somebody and try it out. We didn't have any of that. So you just had to take my word that the DTA box worked on a concept that they had never even heard of before. And I'm just like, buy it. Do me a favor. My 30th day is coming up. And I'm like, that was a little crazy. And what will love do? It'll make you do some crazy things. I remember being 24 hours to the national convention where one of my leaders had already been promoted to national director. And I was feeling anxiety because I hadn't hit national director. And back then, to get to the different positions, you couldn't come in with 21 points like y'all, okay? Every product was 1, maybe 2, but that was just about it you were getting off of a product. A video phone was 2 points, but that video phone cost over $400. Okay, and you need 2 because somebody else need 1 to talk to them. And you only got 2 points. And I was 70 points away, 24 hours to the national convention. And I remember how crazy I felt that if I don't show up hitting that next pin level, I'm gonna feel like I didn't make it happen. I remember that feeling on the inside. And I remember being at home and I'm like pacing the floor and I'm like, okay, you got this, you could do this, you could do this. How are you gonna get 70 points? You gotta think about this now. Where's this gonna come from? You didn't talk to everybody that you know. Okay, this is not my first 30 days. I had national director 7 months later. You know how many people I done went through already 7 months later? And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get 70 points in 24 hours. And I remember how crazy, and I stayed up late, and I paced the floor, and I started writing down names of everybody, and who can I call? And I remember still some of the friends that I talked to, and I remember my words. I remember saying to them, like, I'm 24 hours away from a promotion, and I gotta hit it. I need your support. And I remember this one friend was like, what do you want again? Like, you always wanting something. You always want me to buy something. We work on the same job. And it wasn't like I wasn't what some people call doing well for myself. I went to school. I'm college educated. I have a good job. And I'm begging people for points. I felt crazy. But I'm on that phone and I'm like, so? You want to buy it or not? Don't ask me for nothing if you don't. What you want? What you want me to get? I said, I don't care. All right, this is what I got. And I started listing what we have. He said, what's the cheapest thing? Like, you can get this ID card. And he was like, all right, I get it. I was like, oh, I need your money right now. What? Yes, go get your credit card. I'm on the phone. Go get your credit card. Are you serious? Yeah. I felt crazy. I look back at it. It still felt crazy. Did it? It paid off 20 times what I ever thought. So there were times where I absolutely I felt out of my mind. Then there was this other time when I felt really crazy. I had been doing this business on autopilot for a while, just going along with the motions. And for 2 years, I was 2,000 points away from Diamond Senior Vice President. For 2 years, just 2,000 points for 2 years. How many of you have sat at a position for more than 1 year? Sat there and just sat there and just sat there and asked yourself, how long am I going to sit here? How long am I going to keep coming and never move up a level? Have you ever asked yourself that? And one day, I remember I really honestly didn't care if I was the first Diamond Senior Vice President or not. I figured I would get there whenever I got there. And my husband, we were home, and he was just like, what are you doing? Why don't you finish it off? And I was like, for what? I was making 6 figures a month. What do I need to finish off? What is that going to do? Give me another $5? I got more than enough. I didn't even feel like I needed any more money. He said, won't you do it to prove that it could be done? I said, okay, that's a good reason. He said, why don't you show people that it can be done? In 9 days, something that I sat there for 2 years on, I finished our diamond in 9 days. 9 days. Me and Linda had some fun, didn't we, Linda? Boy, we were in those group meetings. All right, guys, come on, let's get it together. Let's start getting people in. Let's get these points. Let's make it happen. We want to be the first diamonds in the company. 9 days, they were just sitting there waiting for me, just waiting for me, waiting for me. Somebody's waiting on you. Your team is waiting on you. They're just waiting on you. You're sitting there, but somebody's waiting on you. And the minute you step up, they step up. That was crazy. Crazy? 2,000 points in 9 days. We were competing with another couple. Y'all remember that? The funny thing was, they was getting people to put up money. They was like taking out loans so they could beat me to diamond. And all we did was put in a few people and a few customers. But I'm gonna tell you something. What God has from you, can nobody take. When he's ready for you to make it happen, he's gonna put it on your heart. When he's ready for you to stand up, he'll make you stand up. But first, he's gonna make you feel crazy. You know what else love can do? Love can make you feel invincible. Like you can do anything. Like the world is yours. I remember a few years ago, 6 to be exact, I had given birth. And most women take months off. And I was 3 weeks after having our youngest son, Jackson, and the Nationals was coming up. And I'm a big believer in I don't ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. And so we talked about it, and I was like, how are we gonna get to Nationals? I just had a baby. And I'm like, I can't leave my baby, but I also don't wanna put my baby on a plane. He's only 3 weeks old. We rented an RV, 17 hours from home to here, driving. My mom, my aunt came, and I remember that National because we were across the street in the Marriott, and my now 6-year-old son that is here and it is everybody's favorite. Everybody say hi to Jackson. He's going to remember the sacrifices that I made. I felt invincible. I felt like this was the company I loved, and so I had to be here. I had to show up because I was a part of the story. I was a part of the journey. And that's what love made me feel like. It made me feel invincible. You know what else love can do? Love will show you your strengths and your weaknesses. Won't this business pull it out of you? It'll strip you down. It'll make you vulnerable. It'll show everybody who you really are. And you can't even hide it. Because when you don't produce, everybody knows. Everybody knows. Your name's not on the chart. You don't say anything. It shows your weaknesses. It also shows your strengths. And I realized that my strengths were like innovation. I was always like being creative with my team and coming up with something. You know, when I was first in the business, we didn't have trainings in the back office. So I would get my team together and I would do trainings with my team, right? I was always coming up with something, some kind of promotion to get my team going. I was like innovating something to keep my business going, right? That was a part of the business. I was always trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out how to make the business work, because 5 Links gives you a lot of tools, but there's a lot of things that, you need to figure out on your own as well. It doesn't give you everything. You are an independent business owner. There are some things you have to figure out on your own. But what the business did, it showed my weakness. I didn't even know I had one. I thought I was invincible. I was like, you ever seen me train before? I was like, what? What you need me to do? You need me to put in 1,000 reps? It showed my weakness. My weakness was something I didn't even see coming. It's funny, it's like, you ever watch like boxing, right? And they fighting, the whole time there's a possibility somebody can get knocked out, right? Well, I got into the ring, and I thought because I had won a whole bunch of times that I could never get knocked out. I was like Mike Tyson. I was biting people's ears off. Of stuff. Where's Harrison at? Harrison in the building, newly promoted national director? Harrison, right now, he biting people's ears off. He like, what? National director, 30 days, rawr. Rawr. There ain't nothing. What's next? I was like, when you gonna be SVP? It's like, psh, before this next national, rawr. It's like, what? Word? You want us, huh? I like you. You want us. I watched the fight before. I never predicted that I would ever get knocked out. Never. Not me. Then it happened. See, I watch Joel Osteen on Sundays. Anybody watch him? I like him. You know why I like him? He's very predictable. You know you're going to hear some part of his story every single Sunday, right? He's going to tell you the story about his dad passing away and how he had to step up. He's going to tell you the story about how they took on the Compact Center, right? Are you going to hear that in every story? Every single Sunday, you hear the same thing. He's always going to encourage you every single Sunday. I like that. I still couldn't see it coming. I thought it was predictable. I thought that it wouldn't ever change. And then they knocked me out. That hurt. I built my way to diamond. And you take a look at what it takes to build a diamond. How many platinums you need. And I had posted these pictures on social media of every ND, every SVP, and every platinum that it took. It took me 9 years. But I did it, and as soon as I did it, within a few months, every single one, they took. Every single leader, except for my husband. I guess that was a hard one to take. But don't think they didn't try. Every single one, they took. I was like, okay. I kept telling myself like I could get up. When somebody knocks you out, right? Like I felt like that wasn't just like you ever see somebody get knocked out and you're like, are they all right? Are they gonna make it, right? It was like, that was fun to watch. I don't want them to die. Like that's how I felt. Like they didn't just knock me out. I felt like they knocked the snot out of me. I felt like getting up was a challenge. Like just waking up was a challenge. Because this was my weakness because I didn't even see it coming. Now, mind you, I had watched the fight before. I've watched other people do it to other people. I've seen it in our industry before. I've seen what can happen. Like, I saw it. So it wasn't like I didn't see how this works. But I was knocked out. Well, let me tell you this thing about love. Because the funny thing about love is that it can make you numb. And I was numb for a really long time. I was hurt for a really long time. I didn't want to talk about it for a really long time. And it's hard to explain if you haven't been through it, if you haven't done it. And that's what makes each one of us unique, because if you haven't been through it, it's easy for you to lift me up, to encourage me. If you've been through something else, maybe it didn't affect you the same. But it made me so numb. Here I am, okay, I'll get back up, but I don't fight the way I used to. Remember like after that thing with Mike Tyson was like, he was never the same again? It was like, okay, Mike, just retire. Okay? That's how I felt. Like, I was like, dang. I'm like numb. I remember Ron would call and he would be like, we need you back in. We need you back in this game. We need you to do it. And I'm talking to Sarita on the phone, and Sarita like, well, I got a prophecy. Between her and Katrina's prophecies, they calling me and like, the prophecy said, the prophet said that we gonna make it. And I kept calling them like, call him back. Ask them, did the prophecy change? Because it don't look like we gonna make it. And they would call me back and they said it's still the same thing. I was like, you sure? That's odd. And my husband was so supportive. Like, I wish you could see us at home. And he doesn't know how much I appreciate this, but he would just be like, baby, brush your teeth today. He was like, just take a shower. He said, walk outside and get some fresh air. You will feel so much better. And I would look at him, I'd be like, you think? Are you trying to say something? He'd be like, come on, you want to put a rep in? Nope. Mm-mm. I'm not doing it. I was numb from the hurt and the pain. He kept doing PBRs. I'm like, how'd it go? It was great. Good for you. I'm proud of you. He said, you want to get on the team call tonight? Nope. Because I was numb. But this is what the last thing love will make you do. When you love something, you truly love something, at some point you'll start looking in the mirror at yourself and asking yourself, am I doing everything to make this work? So let me tell you what happened. Last Nationals, I went to a church service with Cece and Selena. Let's give them a round of applause. And Melanie Felder, she gave me a Bible that had my name engraved in it. And I was like, nobody's ever done that. And it just came out of nowhere. She was like, I want to give this to you. I was like, thank you. That was nice. Maybe I should read it. I believe nothing happens, by a coincidence. I'm like watching TV, and I'm watching Joel Osteen, and then right after that, another pastor comes on. He talks about doing like a fast, a 40-day fast. And so we did this 40-day fast to start off the new year, and my husband was just like, are you sure you want to do this? And I said, yeah, I need to hear from God. I need him to tell me what does he want me to do with what I love. Well, let's hold on, because I want you to know what God said. I finished my 40-day fast. I get to the end of the fast, and I'm like, I'm just waiting. I'm like being really good. Nothing, just fruits, vegetables. We prayed. We were reading scriptures every day together, and I felt good. I felt clear. I felt like my mind was clear, and I believe this is that God answers everything. If you ask him, he will answer. I do believe that. And when I was done, I was like praying every day, God, give me an answer. Give me an answer. What do you want me to do with this? And all he said was that I have you exactly where I want you to be. That was it. No direction on what's going to happen. Are we going to turn this thing around? He just said, I have you exactly where I want you to be. I was like, okay, thanks. It's like, it doesn't tell me a whole lot. I was like, you do know Nelson is difficult, right? I love you, Nelson. I was like, this guy, he's tough. And I'm like, okay, can I do this? A few days go by, and I just finished my fast, and I go and I start to meditate, and early in the morning I'm meditating, and I was like, God, I know you told me I'm in the right place, but something's not right. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like I used to feel. Like, I feel angry, and I'm mad because it's not what it used to be, and I can't let it go. And as much as I tell everybody to let it go, I can't let it go. I keep trying to change it and make it something different, and I need your help. And he said, call Mel. So I called Mel. I said, Mel, let me ask you something. I said, I just need you to be really honest with me. I said, I'm mad and angry, and I can't figure out how to get it out of me, how to let the anger go, how to let what once was be buried and done with. And I keep blaming the current situation for what it's not. And she said something to me that changed the rest of my life. It didn't just change how I saw what I love. It changed my life. She said, "You don't know God." Hold up. I was at church every Sunday. Okay? I've been reading the Bible that you gave me. How don't I know him? That's all we talk about when we talk. I say prayers every night before we go to bed. We say prayers every day in the car before we leave out of anywhere. We keep God in the center of everything that we do. And she said to me, "You don't know God." Okay, well, who is he? She said, "You think God didn't do this? You mad at him. That's who you mad at. He did this. He changed it. He bought Nelson. He brought this company to where it is. The people that were here that left, he made them leave." He changed it. Now, when she said that, what I realized is that all this time, all these years, I thought I was building something for my children. I thought I was building something for me. I thought I was building something for you. All this time, I've been building something for God. Let me tell you a funny thing when you change this whole thing around and you realize everything that you're doing ain't got nothing to do with you. See, what I realize is that it's going to come a day, and it's going to look like this. I'm going to walk through the gates, and then he's going to meet me face to face. And I got to tell him what I did when I was here. I got to tell him what he gave me, what I did with what he gave me. I got to explain myself to him. And what I can't say is, well, here's the excuse I have for you, God, because I was upset and I was mad, so I didn't give it my all. I can't look him in the face and say that. And I started to realize that I'm mad at the wrong thing. I'm mad at the wrong person. You're trying to figure out why we don't have something, ask God, because he ain't give it to us. You're trying to figure out why it's not working or anything, or why doesn't the back office have this? Ask God, because he ain't give it to us. When I started looking at it and saying, if I don't show up, I got to answer to him. I got to tell him what I did, and I want him to be proud of me. I don't want my team to be proud of me. I want God to be proud of me. So I look at how I had to look myself in the face, in the mirror, because what I loved, I wasn't loving it back. What God owned, I wasn't putting in the work and the time. I just did a 3-way with a young lady. And she said, I don't have to do it with y'all, I can do it myself. I said, but when you do it with us, you get to help a whole lot of people. You can't help a whole lot of people by yourself. I said, don't you realize that's what we in, that's what we do? This is not independent. This is for us to build something together. And all I'm asking for you to do with me is I want you to think about what we have to do together. We had watched this movie I don't know if you guys have seen it, The Passion of Christ. We watched it again recently because it came out a few years ago, right? I don't know, my husband was like, let's watch it again. Like, we like to watch movies for inspiration. And I was just like, you know, the majority of the movie is him getting beat up. And there was sometimes that I was like closing my eyes because it was like that graphic to look at. So I can only imagine what it feels like to experience it. But all I could think about is like, I'm looking at the movie and I'm just trying to imagine that time, and I see them beat the living crap out of him, and then expect him to carry his own cross. And I'm watching the movie, and as he's walking, I'm thinking this would have been a good time to run. You know, like you might have been, but you, like, he could have, like, think about it if it was one of y'all, right? I probably would have been like, just kill me. Like, why are you putting me through all this? No, I ain't carrying it. I can just imagine my attitude. Like, you beat the living snot out of me and you want me to carry my own cross? Get it over with. Kill me now. And I'm watching the movie. Wouldn't you say that? And I'm watching the movie, and he's carrying it, and he's falling over, but he's like continuing to go, and then, you know, somebody comes and helps him. And they get this guy to come and help him. And this guy like, no, first he's like, no, I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. And there's some people who was like carrying a cross with us, and when we started getting beat up, they ran. They was like, forget that. See y'all, peace. Wouldn't want to be ya. You know how strong you gotta be to carry a cross? You know how strong you gotta be to keep going when everybody else is quitting? You know how strong you gotta be to believe in something so great that what you're doing and your purpose is so much greater than what you're going through, that you're willing to go through all of that pain? Ask the first two rows, have they experienced any pain? Ask some of the senior vice presidents, have they experienced any pain? I figured something out though. Like, if we're walking and we have the cross, but Kurt, come here for a second. Jimmy, come here for a second. Kwame, come here for a second. Kay, come here for a second. Ian, come here for a second. Give me a whole first front row. Can y'all come here for a second? I just need y'all, kind of like up here with me. Just stand behind me for a second. And I'm gonna carry it. It's on this side, it's on my right side. I just need you to carry it on your right side. Okay? Yeah, just like that, just hold it for me. Hold it up, because it's too heavy for me to carry by myself. Jay, get up here. I need you to carry this cross with me. It's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Every person counts. Okay? You got it? Got it. Let's take one step, a right step, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Let's take a left step on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3, right step. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3, left step. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3, right step. On the count of three. 1, 2, left step. On the count of three. 1, 2, right step. On the count of three. 1, 2, left step. On the count of three. 1, 3, right step. On the count of three. 1, 2, left step. You got it? Now turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around. Hold it in front of you. Hold it in front of you. I need you to hold it. Hold it. Now hold my hand. Hold my hand. Now hold my hand. Hold his hand. Hold that hand. Hold that hand. Hold that hand. Hold that hand. This what I figured out. Like, I can't do it by myself. It don't even feel right doing it by myself. He already did that. Yes. He carried it for all of us. Yes. I'm going to tell you why you're here. It's something about what you see that you like. It's something about what you see yourself in them. It's something about what he's placed in you and placed in your heart that makes you continue to stay with us year after year, month after month. It's something in it. And everybody on this stage, all we want is for you to get exactly what you came here for. That's all we want. And I can promise you, each and every single one of them, they're going to help you to carry your own cross. We're going to walk with you. No one's going to leave you. And I promise you, because this is what it's going to look like. Remember when he got up there? And then he transitioned? And then they laid his body to rest? And how many days was it later? 3 days. 3 days. And what happened? It's our time. It's our time. We already carried the cross. We already did it. We've already held the line. We've already held it for you. We're here. We're in the day 3. And it's time for resurrection. And I promise you that we're going to get it back. I promise you that you're going to get everything that you came here for. I promise you. Turn the music off. I promise you that you ain't stay for nothing.
That's right.
That everybody up here is going to be held accountable to hold you accountable so that we all get millions of dollars off of this CBD. It ain't over.
That's right.
It ain't over.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you something. I love it. I ain't mad at what it was. I ain't mad at nobody that ever left. Because whoever left ain't going to get what we going to get. Whoever left ain't going to experience what we going to experience. They ain't going to feel the love that they felt when they was once here. They ain't going to feel the compassion that they once had. You know how much people really love this business? Yeah. Do you understand how much they love it? I ain't never seen, somebody said this, we were talking earlier, weren't we? We was in the break room, and somebody said, how come when they leave other companies, this was Derek, where's Derek at? Derek said, how come when they leave other companies, they never talk bad about them? Derek, what'd I say? I said, because they don't love it. Because they don't love it. When you love it, that's how you act. That's how you behave when you don't love it. When you love something like this, you act a goddamn fool. All we figured out was somebody was pretending. Somebody was doing business, as they say it. We ain't doing business. We here because we love it. Yeah. This ain't business for us. This is personal. Yeah. This is all personal. Yeah. And to the day we die, this is what we do. Yes. We do 5 links. Yes. It's our company. Yes. It's our time. Yes. And we're going to take it to $1 billion. You remember that. And when you think about getting up, giving up, I want you to ask yourself, but do I love it? Because when you love something, you'll do anything for it. When you love something, you're going to figure it out. When you love something, you'll bring it to other people because you love it. And you want them to know what you love. You got to love it. Because when you love it, it loves you back. I can promise you that. What I have here is an example of love. They're here because they love it. Don't y'all?
Absolutely. Yes.
Only love can make you do what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Only love can make you just crazy enough to stay. Only love can do that. It doesn't mean that you won't ever have bad days, because love
right.
does that to you. But I promise you, as you build this business, you build it like God owns it. And if you treat it that way, it'll love you back. So, we have a big job to do when we get home. Yes. A big job. And here's the thing. We can't do it without you.
That's right.
You matter. We need you.
Yeah.
And we need you to show up like you've never shown up before. We need you to go out here and help us to spread the message like you've never spread the message before. We need you to own the fact that we are in a $22 billion industry. We need you to own the fact that this company is being protected by God. We need you to own it. And so we have a few months to our next national convention. All I ask you to do is work like God owns it. Thank you guys so much.